Today's topic is going to be on Jesus's humble birth in the barn, and we find this in Luke chapter 2, verse 3 to 5. It says, "And everyone went to their own town to register. So Joseph also went up from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea, to Bethlehem, the town of David, because he belonged to the house and line of David. He went there to register with Mary, who was pledged to be married to him and was expecting a child."
This is an 80-mile journey from Nazareth to Bethlehem. So many difficulties this young couple have had already. Mary is expecting God's child. Joseph is engaged to Mary and finds out she's expecting a child, not his. Then the community slandering them unfairly. Now they have to go to their hometown of Bethlehem at the very worst time, right at her due time. Obedient to the rulers, Joseph and Mary go. Problem is, many other people went to Bethlehem for the same reason. Rooms are scarce and non-existent by the time they arrive. Could you read verse 6 to 8 now?
Yeah, while they were there, the time came for the baby to be born. And she gave birth to her firstborn, a son. She wrapped him in cloths and placed him in a manger because there was no guest room available for them. And there were shepherds living out in the fields nearby, keeping watch over their flocks at night.
But there was an empty stable at this time of year available to them. The shepherds were living out in the fields nearby. Spring of the year, the sheep and goats were lambing. All hands on deck, they had to live with the sheep. Back to the stable. There's two thoughts. Maybe it was a barn at the hotel or a cave. Either way, that was not okay for an expectant lady. But they were simple folk. A stable was normal for them and their animals. But as a maternity ward, how humiliating was that? And this was no ordinary child, a super special child of God, the Messiah. And all Joseph and Mary can come up with is a sheep shed. That is hard. And now there were labor pains. I'm sure God sent them a midwife to guide them through this difficult hour. A beautiful baby boy, washed and wrapped in cloths. But now what? Where's the crib? There's a hay manger. That will work. The baby nurses, falls asleep, and looks happy in the crib. Joseph and Mary are so happy, so blessed, but in a barn. Why? They find a place to rest in a stall and doze off. Suddenly, they wake up. They have company, lots of company. Shepherds are here. Why? They are all excited. They are all talking about a baby. How would they know? The only people who knew so far were Joseph and Mary, the midwife, and God. But they knew and were so excited. They had seen angels, hundreds of them, singing. That's impossible. Maybe when somebody had a dream. No, they all saw it. 20 shepherds or so now crowding into the barn, looking over each other's shoulders, all talking at once. Where were the sheep? Not to worry. They came to see a Messiah baby wrapped in cloths, lying in a manger in Bethlehem. That's what they were told. The Messiah in our town. Yes, we know where the stable is. When was the angel event then? An hour ago? Joseph and Mary hug and cry. Pick up Jesus. Jesus wakes up and smiles. Gently they pass around to Jesus for all those rough men to hold. They know birthing and babies. They're shepherds after all. They too are hugging and laughing and crying. Oh, how special. Joseph and Mary, Jesus, the shepherds and angels. This is too much. Oh, what a beautiful barn. Thank you, God. God, you knew all along.
Amen. And what a beautiful story. Thanks a lot for this, Ari.
For sure.